The sun burned hot over the small western town, dust rising with every step as wagons rolled through the wide, rutted street. Clara Dawson pulled her shawl tighter around her shoulders even though the air was warm. It wasn't the cold she was shielding herself from, it was the stares. Too many eyes followed her, eyes that measured her worth, eyes that knew she had nowhere else to go. She had answered an ad pinned to the bulletin board outside the mercantile. Cook needed room and board, fair wages. It wasn't much, but it was more than she had. With her parents gone and no one to call family, Clara had carried her meager belongings across 3 towns before arriving at the ranch that morning. The rancher who opened the door had been taller than she expected. His shoulders broad, his jaw rough with stubble, his eyes carrying something heavy, something that spoke of long nights and burdens carried alone. He introduced himself as John Mercer. His voice was deep but not unkind. "This way, Miss Dawson," he had said, leading her inside. The ranch house was large but empty feeling, like it was missing laughter or the gentle touches that make a home warm. Clara noticed the little boots by the door, the scattered toys near the parlor. She had smiled faintly, realizing children must live here, though she hadn't seen any yet. The kitchen was in need of order, and Clara rolled up her sleeves without hesitation. She needed dough, set beans to soak, and chopped vegetables with steady hands. For the first time in weeks, she felt useful again. She thought that was why she was here, simply to cook, to work hard, to earn her keep. But everything changed that evening. As Clara stirred a pot of stew, a soft tug came at her skirt. She looked down to find a little girl, no more than 6, her golden hair in messy braids, eyes wide as the sky. The child smiled shyly, then leaned close as if to share a secret. "I picked you," she whispered. "I picked you to be my mommy." Clara froze, her spoon slipping slightly. "Sweetheart," she said gently, kneeling down to the girl's height, "I think your papa hired me to cook, not." But the little one shook her head with determination. "No, I told him. I told Papa I wanted you." Before Clara could answer, John appeared in the doorway, holding his hat in his hands. His face was unreadable, yet his eyes softened as he watched his daughter clutch Clara's apron. Her heart raced. What did this mean? She hadn't come here for anything but work. And yet, as the little girl held onto her, Clara felt something break open inside her, a yearning she had buried long ago when she thought love and family had passed her by. That night, after supper, John walked her to the porch. The stars stretched endlessly overhead, the crickets filling the silence. "I didn't hire you by accident," he said at last, his voice low. "My girl hasn't spoken of wanting a mother since her own past. But when she saw you in town that day, she wouldn't let it go." He hesitated, then met Clara's eyes. "I need help on this ranch. I need someone steady, but more than that, she needs someone to love her." Clara's breath caught. She hadn't expected this. She had come for a job, not for a place in someone's heart. Yet standing there under the night sky, the child's small arms still lingering around her waist in memory, Clara realized her own loneliness had been aching for more than work. She had been aching for belonging. The weeks that followed blurred into something she had never imagined. Clara cooked. Yes, but she also braided hair, read bedtime stories, stitched small dresses, and laughed more than she had in years. The girl, Lydia, followed her everywhere, her laughter a balm to the empty spaces in the house. John was quieter, slower to show his feelings, but Clara saw the way his gaze lingered when she sang to Lydia, the way his shoulders eased when she was near. He was a man who had weathered storms, yet she saw gentleness in him that the world rarely noticed. One evening, as the 3 of them sat by the fire, Lydia curled up against Clara's side and whispered again, "See. You're my mommy now." John looked at her then. Not with command, not with expectation, but with hope. Clara reached for his hand, her own trembling. "I thought I was just here to cook," she murmured, her voice breaking softly. "You are," John said quietly. Then, with a warmth that steadied her heart, he added, "But you're also here to stay, if you'll have us." Tears welled in her eyes as she pulled Lydia close, her free hand holding onto John's as if she had been meant to do it all her life. For the first time in years, Clara didn't feel like she was drifting. She wasn't just a hired cook. She was a woman chosen. not only by a little girl who longed for love but by a man who needed her as deeply as she needed them. And under the wide, endless sky, Clara finally found the family she thought she had lost forever.